on Monday, the Department of Education is set to start collecting debts on defaulted student loans. The first Trump administration paused student loan payments during the pandemic. Now about 5 million borrowers will face mandatory collections for the first time in more than 5 years.
Nurses and nursing students, y'all loans resume on Monday. What y'all gonna do? Y'all screamed this whole year, I'm not paying them loans back. I'm not paying them loans back. It's either you pay them loans back, baby, or that credit score gonna be 400 by Monday night. So what are we doing collectively? What's up? Let me know.
I don't have it. That is rent.
Keep saying, why should my tax dollars pay for other people's student loans? One, go f yourself. If your tax dollars did pay for student loans, it's because you're investing in society as a whole. A rising tide lifts all boats. The smarter that people are, the better off all of us are. But second, your tax dollars aren't paying for student loans. Our country makes billions of dollars from the interest of these student loans. Our country profits from student loans. So your tax dollars aren't paying for people's student loan interest forgiveness. If anything, sorry, but the country is not making a profit off the backs of people that needed to take out student loans to better themselves in life.
Number one, it's hard to hear her talk because she sounds extremely annoying.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Other than that, I completely disagree with her. I went to college just like everyone else. I don't believe it's everyone's responsibility to pay for my student loans. If they want to, then obviously I'm not gonna say, hey, don't do it. But at the same time, I think it's very entitled to tell people that like, oh, you're responsible for paying it. Oh, you should pay it just because I want it. Like, no, you took it out. It's your responsibility. Do I believe that there's some predatory lending going on with student loans? Absolutely. I think it's what they do with student loans is absolutely crazy. They make it so unaffordable to the fact that like as a kid, like what, 18 years old, 21 years old, taking out that much amount of money it's absolutely crazy.
They just said that 92% of the people that went to college and racked up all this student loan debt don't and won't have jobs in the degrees that they got the debt in. So why y'all asking us to pay this money back? If you know that, why are we being asked to pay? And then this is the thing that gets me. Before I could even lift my right foot out of the door frame of graduation, my university was already contacting me for a donation. It's because of y'all that I'm a damn flipping donation to the Department of Education. And now they want to garnish our wages. What did you go to school for? Did you graduate with your degree? And are you actively using your degree to make tons of money like they promised you? Was it worth going to college?
I definitely gotta disagree with her. Because listen, going to school is pretty much like, it's like rolling the dice. It's supposed to be a guaranteed thing. Like, oh, you go to school, you get the job you want. Unfortunately, it's not.
Gotcha.
That doesn't mean that you're still not responsible for paying for student loans. Do I think that they should be garnishing people's like 15% of their money right now? No. I think this is actually the worst time for them to do it. Very bad timing, the way the economy is right now. I think they're really squeezing whatever's left out of people right now. And I think this is the worst time. But I do disagree with her. It's your responsibility. You take it out. Just because it didn't go your way doesn't mean that you shouldn't have to pay it back. It's like every other loan. It's like people take out credit card. They might use a credit card on something they didn't even want, but they still have to pay off the credit card.
So I called the student loans people yesterday, and I was like, ma'am, because I put me on deferment right now. I don't want no forbearance. No, because forbearance, if you didn't know, your interest continues to grow even though it's paused. No, deferment. Thank you. And the lady said, as of right now, your monthly payments are $1,554. Huh? I said, excuse me? No habla inglés. Huh? So then I said, this is a recorded line, right? She said, yes, ma'am, it is. I said, give me a second. Shh. I said, anybody who's on the other end, listen to me. I don't have it. That is rent. $1,554. I said, damn, they greedy, huh? They couldn't just make that 54 cents? Like, dollars? I said, that is rent. I don't have it. I don't have it. I will not have it. The lady said, yeah, this takes a couple of weeks. We already seen your application. It'll be applied. Okay. Thank you. 36 months? Thank you. I'll apply again in 3 years. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Well, I agree with you 90%. The part about, this being a bad time, it is a bad time, unfortunately, because the economy is not in the best position. But I mean, it is what it is. So essentially, what you guys, if you don't know already, on May 5th, the federal government is going to require student loan payments to start being kicked back in. They were paused for like 5 years now since COVID. And so people have just been forgetting about them. Some people have gone in default, like, this loan can just sit there, I don't care. And now Trump is like, nope, you gotta care. We're gonna start taking your money from your checks. If you retire, we're gonna take your Social Security percentage of it, which is very scary because they're not even working anymore. And they're also now reporting defaults to the credit bureau, so your credit score is going down the tank as well if you're in default. So, but there's still ways to have your loan put into deferment or different programs to help you out. That being said, like you said, it's like any other loan. It's a loan. It's not a grant. It wasn't money that your grandmother handed you to use that you don't have to pay back to her. This is a loan you took out to get education, and it just so happens that some people chose poorly. If you took out a loan to go do underwater basket weaving or the history of the African diaspora, which I'm African, so I'm not trying to make fun of that, or I'm not gonna say the other ones I want to get hate in the comment section, or history or any of these things, and you can't find a job for it, that's not, I was gonna say our fault, but I mean, I'll leave you at it. Okay, it's not our fault.
It's not.
Yeah, and we took loans, and so I mean, it is what it is.
And yeah, like I said, I think the economy's hard. I think it's a bad time to do this, especially when they told people they listen. Let's be real. They told people that they had more time, and then to all of a sudden just like boom, like 2 weeks ago say it's due right now. I do think that's a little bit jacked up, especially right now. I do think it's messed up.
But here's the thing: they told people they had more time since when? 2020?
No, I agree with that.
So they had time.
Listen.
By the way, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they haven't been given a million chances.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that you give people who are financially irresponsible, and then you think that they're automatically like. Let's be real. If they garnish 15% of people who haven't been paying it off, do they think you're even going to get much out of it? You're probably going to get nothing.
Yeah, well, I think the point is just to get people back to paying and not just sitting on this loan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think doing that at hyper speed to pay, but really like 2 weeks and then boom, it's due on this date. I mean, I don't know what they expected to get out of it. Like, you're garnishing 15% out of people who aren't really making a whole lot of money. A lot of people are in their majors. Very bad timing. I just don't see it being conducive to any party, to be completely honest with you. And like I said, I'm with them on the, listen, they took out the loans. They owe the money. You have to pay it off. This whole thing where it's like, I should be able to take out money and then it just goes into infinity and beyond, or goes into like the space sector, like you don't know what happens to it. And I'm the first person to tell people that I do think that the way that schools are ran right now, like colleges, they are ran like a scam. Because they essentially, a lot of these kids, if they're not going into STEM, they don't have anything set up with these universities where they help facilitate students getting jobs. It's still hard for a lot of students to get jobs. They're paying so much money. Like literally, like you could pay like one individual to get you in a job and like save thousands of dollars.
Yeah, there's so many pieces to this because there's so much blame that could go around. So first and foremost, the government making it easy for people to borrow money to go to school was already a problem, which you might say, how's that a problem? Everyone deserves an education. The problem is that everyone should have the right to get an education. But when you have the government making it easy for people to get loans and people that are not really educated on they're not brought up to know what to go to school for and how to do school the right way.
Yeah.
Like you said. So then you have people that are from certain backgrounds, right? Myself included, who my parents are immigrants and they knew nothing about student loans. They knew nothing about education in the US. They just knew go to school, get a degree, go get a good job. But other than that, I didn't get much guidance, but I figured it out. Some people come from backgrounds that are even worse than, a little bit more challenged than that. And so they're not brought up like maybe some people that are brought up in a more affluent family to learn how to go get the right degree, how to study, how to do those internships, how to network. And they go get the wrong degree. They don't have any networking. They don't have any experience. They get out and they have this paper, but they get nothing for it besides debt. It's good that everyone has the opportunity to do it, but I just don't know if everyone should do it. And people are starting to realize that because a lot of people go to school and they don't use their degree afterwards. So I think now there's gonna be a generation that might tell their kids like, hey, maybe consider a trade. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that just has to do with leadership. I think a lot of people, a lot of parents are just very blind to like raising their kids. So they expect the world to raise their kids and then they get those results back.
Yeah,
you don't lead your kid in any direction, so would they end up directionless?
Yeah.
Then they go to school. And then a lot of people just don't know anything about financials either. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big part is just financial literacy. Most people don't know about financial literacy. So they end up setting each other up for these situations. They're like, your mom and dad heard, oh, school's great, go to school. And they don't realize like everything that comes along with it. And I think that's a big issue and a big problem. But if we're being completely honest, the main reason why people go to school anyway is just because they can't give everyone a good job. Let's just be real. School's there so that it's kind of like, what's the best way I can kind of describe it? It's like they add fillers to filter out people. Because back in the day, I know when my parents were going to school, well, my parents didn't finish school, but back in the day, I remember my grandma when she was going to school, not a lot of people had degrees. So if you had a degree, you get a job real quick, right? And that was just like, you could just have an associate's degree, which is absolutely nothing now. It's like a high school degree right now. But that was a big deal. And then what happened? Everyone started getting associates. So then the next thing stepped up. All right, well, everyone got to get bachelor's now. So now if you had a bachelor's degree, okay, yeah, you can get a job, blah, blah, blah. It's so great, so great. But now a bachelor's degree is so accessible. Everyone has it. So now they need to filter out more people. So what do they say? Oh, now you need a master's degree. Now you need this. Now, and now it's like, now it's a combination of everything. Now it's like, you need work experience before you even work, which is absolutely absurd to me. You need master's degrees to work at KFC. I'm just exaggerating, guys, obviously. And then on top of it, now it's like you need projects too on top of it. So I mean, it's just the standards, everything's just getting out of hand. And that's just because mainly everyone's obtaining everything that everyone has.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
It's simple supply and demand. Like you said, back in 1950s, 60s, even 70s, there was less supply of college educated people into the workforce. Fewer supply, you could pay more, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's oversupply of people that have degrees, and there's not as much demand from these employers. So now they require you to have everything you just said. 2 master's degrees just to go flip, or I guess fried chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of IT people unemployed right now. Our decision makers, if you think restarting student loans is a good idea, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think it's a bad idea, leave a like, leave a comment. Make sure you pay off your loan.